Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Fate Remnant Collide. So yeah, let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? So, we would currently be going on to the perspective of our favorite little ice cream girl, Neo, as she's currently still dealing with the loss, quote-unquote loss, of, of Roman, as she does not know currently that he's still alive, as currently she's still feeling sick to herself, saying things like, could have saved him, why didn't he survive, it should have been me, as while saying that to herself, unbeknownst to her, her arm, or at least her hand, starts to glow color, a reddish color, revealing that she would be a master to a servant, as currently outside of where she is, in this case a nearby bar, somebody would start to manifest. So, before we actually continue with this episode, the only reason why I'm picking this version is because honestly, I just, why did they make the regular version of her a freaking lowly of all things? She's supposed to be the the first and last empress of China, or at least the head empress, kind of like the emperor, but to say the least, or female emperor, I guess you could say. But to say the least, I'm still disappointed in that. That is why I'm picking this, or the summer version of her, though I'm gonna be keeping her class, well, in this case, assassin. As we currently see that of a woman, wielding that of some sort of, well, what seems to be a whip-like spear, as she seems to be wearing what seem to be Chinese clothing, as she would say. So, I've been summoned, and it seems my master doesn't know that I'm here. How disappointing. But I'll at least work in the shadows to protect her, and to soon gain her wish, as after saying these words she would disappear into the shadows. Currently, as we currently see that of the boy again, in this case the kid named Oscar, as he would be back in his farmhouse, as he would be talking to someone, as he would say this, "Hey, Ryder, can you please stop? Why are you buying all of this stuff?" As it would reveal, well, to say the least, a certainly interesting person. He resembles that of a bearded pirate, as currently he's wielding that of a anime figurine, to say the least. As he would say, "Hey, don't start bitching about my hobbies when you have all of this stuff." To say the least, it's much more productive, he would say. As you'd say, productive? For now, just tell me what the heck is going on. As he would say, "Well, kid, I'm currently preparing for the Holy Grail War." As you'd say, "Yeah, about that, but I'm definitely not joining." As he would say, "Wait, what? Why would you not? I mean, you can get any wish you want if you win," he would say. As the kid would just say, "Look, Blackbeard, is that your name, right?" As you'd say, "Diplito, yeah." As you'd say, "Well, I'm not joining, since it involves killing and such." So, as you'd say, "Oh, come on, kid. Besides, you don't really need to kill anybody. Besides, you just need to take away the command seals to actually defeat them. And you can just handle that to me. And besides, my boy, since you're going to be my lieutenant in this matter, it only makes sense that I would give you this." As he would give him, well, to say the least, something interesting, a simple anime shirt. As you'd say, "Looks good on you, boy, eh?" As Oscar would just look like, "Why am I even here?" As currently the voice in his head, aka Ospen, would say, "I do have to agree, but he is quite the useful thing, to say the least." As meanwhile, currently, back in Menagerie, that of Shiana Khan would be still leading that of the Neo White Fang against the Black Claw. As while doing so, Berserker, aka Morgan, would be helping out in the fight. And that is when we would hear the sound of a roar. And that's when they would see him, the massive Berserker from earlier. As Tina would say, be careful there. As he would say, Master must protect. As after saying these words, Shiana would say, whoa, who is that? She would say. As Tina would say, well, it seems that I have a servant or whatever. As before they can say anything else, Berserker would look at Adam, as he would say, you hurt Master and her friends. As that's when Adam would look at him and say, another oppressor, prepare to die. As after saying these words, the Berserker that is being, that is now serving that of Tina would say, Berserker will not fail. Berserker will show no mercy. As after saying these words, something would start to happen nearby. As everything would start to shift and peel, as the area would start becoming transformed, as he would say these words. As the area would terraform, as walls and what seemed to be, I guess you could say like pillars of what seemed to be white marble would start to appear, as Berserker would say these words. Stray. Lost. Die! As after saying these words, he would reveal his noble phantasm. Naming his noble phantasm, Chaos Labyrinthos, the ever unchanging labyrinth. As after doing so, it would reveal that it turned the area into a massive maze. As several of the soldiers, in this case, the Black Claw soldiers would start to feel like their bodies are starting to like weaken, as he would start to act normal-ish. More specifically that of Berserker, or at least this Berserker, as he would say these words. You're trapped. Now, pay. As after saying these words, he would grab onto his axes and would throw them, launching at them, as they would get ripped apart by the slash. But unlike before, they're no longer regenerating. As when they saw that, they would say, shit, why is it not working? Why is it? As before they can say anything else, they would get their heads cut off. As when seeing this, Tina would say, so, this is his noble phantasm. As while saying that, another person would finally arrive. In this case, a massive, what seemed to be a berserker, or in this case, that of Morgan. As Morgan would arrive and would say, Master, are you okay? As she would say, yeah, I'm fine. But she would look towards, and Shannon would see that a berserker, as he would be killing several of the Black Fang soldiers, as he would say, and she would say, so, he's able to nullify Adam's ability. Not bad. As she would say, so, is this our new ally? Interesting. As she would look over and would see that of Tina, as she's still a bit injured after the fight. As she would say, here, the healing room. As after saying these words, she would start to feel her body start to feel much more healed. As she would say, thank you. As she would say, please, just call me Berserker. Now, Allow me to assist you in this battle. As after saying these words, Adam would get ready to fight, though he seems to be a much more weaker than usual. Though he would be still on par with like most servants, like Saber class, which are technically the pinnacle of most in most Holy Grail in most Holy Grail wars. But in this case, well, he's definitely not going to be that strong, as he seems to be much more weaker, especially in this noble phantasm, or should I say, reality marble. As Berserker would say this. Allow me to assist you in this battle, a fellow Berserker. As the Berserker would say, name Asterios. As she would say, the famous Minotaur. Well then, if I'm going to be assisting a monster just like you, then allow me. As after saying these words, she would say a little chant. As her body, or at least I meant to say was, the now revealed Asterios' body would start to feel much more stronger. As she would say, there, enhancement runes. Now, send him to God. As after saying these words, Berserker would charge in. As, while at the same time, Morgan would look at a certain girl, in this case Tina, as she would say, now, girl, I ask of you, use your not your noble phantasm, I meant to say was, please use your command seal to enhance his attack, to finish him off. As after saying these words, she would say, but how? I'm still new to this, and she would say, do you want your servant to die? Or even if he does, or even if he lands a blow, it will still be troublesome if he's unable to resummon the reality marble right now, since it's slowly starting to collapse again. As she would say, I'm fine, but how should I do this? As she would say, please, allow me then. As she would start to go towards her, as she would tell her the instructions, as she would say this, fine, thank you. Okay, by my command seal, Berserker, please, bring us victory! As after saying these words, Asterios would rush in, as two of his twin axes would rush towards Adam. As before the new reality marble basically disappears, he would land a slash, cutting open his stomach. As Adam would not be able to fully, I guess you could say, heal from the attack due to the noble phantasm. As doing so, he would spit out blood. As the reality marble would disappear. As Berserker would say this. Asterios defeated that bastard. As after saying these words, Adam would say these words as well. You oppressor. It's time to retreat. As after saying these words, he would start to leave instantly. As while doing so, in this case, Tyrion would be continuing his slaughter, but before he can do, he would hear, god damn it. As after saying these words, he would say, that was about to be so much fun still. Oh well, it seems that Mistress wants me to come back. Oh well, you get to live. As after saying that, he would be pinning someone against a wall with their spine. As he would say, oh well, as he would start to leave, as he calls upon his servant, Archer of Inferno. As Archer of Inferno would finally come back to him, as he would say, let's get going. Oh well. As after saying these words, they would disappear. And so, we're going to be ending off this episode right off here, guys. So yeah, Bye bye.